right, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. How are you guys doing? Let's see what wants to come through today. Any zodiac signs that show up, I will take a look at those in the extended. A few of you have been asking about the Chiron and North Node classes. Yes, they are past life regressions, self-paced. All right, so if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description box below. What is my wounded healer about? The Chiron class. I'm fascinated with Chiron right now. It just feels like Chiron is an asteroid, and it shows us where our wounds are and what we're here to do to fix them or work with them. I don't know if fix is the right word. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going to... Oh, out of the mess comes elegant order. I like it. I like that. Oh my goodness. There are no wrong turns. Thank goodness this is coming out today. Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space, right? So if you're seeing, I'm seeing a ton of 444s, 7s. I'm seeing a ton of that right now. And it does feel to me to be a little bit about structure and spirituality. Now, as we get into April, I just did I just did a recorded conversation with Braca Goldsmith, who is an astrologer, and she has a great YouTube channel. So if you don't know it, please go check her out. Braca Goldsmith is wonderful. And we were talking a little bit about what's going to be happening in April and all of the Piscean energy and how, sort of floaty that feels. But the Mars and Saturn conjunction really gives us a sense of how to make it real. So the Mars and Saturn conjunction is that 444, and the spirituality, Pisces connected to the universe, that's the 777. So interpreting my own little, the little signs that's showing up for me right now. Hierophant, that's Taurus energy. 4 of Swords, 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands. Judgment, 3 of Swords, that came up yesterday in the same place. Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, there's Jupiter. 7 of Swords and the 7 of Cups. See the 7s. Look at the 7s. And it started out with a 4. We're continuing down this road. Plus 7 and 4 is 11, which has to do with the synchronicities of 11:11. Seeing that too. Your wounds are the path. Whatever is coming up for you right now, I've definitely talked to a lot of people, and I've had this issue too, about issues sleeping, staying asleep, middle of the night, kind of like stuff coming up, things, just like waking me up and all of that kind of stuff, loud dreams, just, getting a lot of ringing in my ears and things like that. There's messages that want to come through, and when you're sleeping in the middle of the night, your defenses are down. So, my brain, during the day, getting myself into a place of being receptive to messages is part of my structure, right? But in this Piscean energy, we have Neptune and Jupiter coming into conjunction April 12th. And I think I've talked a lot about that as the Great Awakening, that there's going to be this opening up of things. And we tend to think of it as, very, this just high vibration and all this kind of stuff. But I do feel like the journey is, bringing up the stuff that really needs to be worked on. And it's like not always pretty. It's not always, fairy dust and unicorns or anything like that. In fact, a lot of you have outwardly complained to me about the spiritual journey and how not fairy dust and unicorns it is. And boy, is that true. Okay. And I feel like what's showing up right now is some of you might be getting some messages around a future relationship, or that things need to be worked through now so that love can flow, compassion can flow, empathy can flow. When you're in this Neptune and this Neptune-y energy, it's just very hard to, get your arms around things. Okay. So we might be seeing more of that, but Mars and Saturn coming into conjunction around April 4th, it's going to give us a sense of rootedness. Like, this is the thing to take action on today. And Braca so astutely pointed out, Mars and Saturn together, it's like one thing at a time. Yeah, one thing at a time. So there's healing energy here with this Four of Swords. There's fairly traditional with this Taurus energy here about what do you value and what's anchoring you and what do you want to put your time and attention to. The spiritual path continues, and sometimes that might be blurring. I'm in the middle of working through this type of problem or this type of challenge or this type of situation, and then all of a sudden the relationship thing shows up, or it comes at you from different directions. Okay. And I feel like this is continuing to be quite a bit, Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups here, quite a bit of confusion, but there are very strong messages in here about what needs healing. Okay. The Three of Swords there, that can be heartache, that can be, difficulty with family, difficulty with love, something like that. The messages are trying to come through. It's almost like, what's that book about broken open? Like, a glass bowl breaks and you can glue it back together. In many ways, it's stronger, but it will never be the same. The bowl will never be the same. So if you're getting broken open right now, if there's messages that want to come through for you right now, it's time to be open to that. And I think when we feel that everything is going to be, neat and tidy and hospital corners and all of that kind of stuff, I think that's where we get into a resistance mode. That if things that come through are not necessarily so cut and dry, they're not necessarily, I was good and you were bad, or this was right and that was wrong. It seems like there's a lot more, even moral relativism here, a lot more of blurring of the lines of what's going on in your reality could be showing up very soon. So this Jupiter energy is here, and we have Jupiter and Neptune coming into conjunction in Pisces, and so Jupiter is the original ruler, Sag is the original connection with Jupiter, but Pisces is also in the picture, and Pisces is that unanchored kind of energy, and anything that Jupiter touches, it expands it. Okay, so just imagine that for a minute. Now I see walking along in your spiritual path, Three of Swords and Seven of Swords. It's a little bit of heartache, but I think it's almost like breaking open the heart so that the messages, the clarity can come in. Page of Pentacles. Yep. Sun. Oh, that's beautiful. Ace of Cups. Strength. I love this. Lovers. And the Nine of Pentacles. So it's worth it to walk through this, because what's on the other side of this, you're learning from this breaking open, being broken open, and not trying to rush it or categorize it or file it or put it in a box somewhere, just letting things sort of be. And what comes through is this sense of you as a stronger, more courageous person, willing to take the risk on love when it comes in. I got Leo and Gemini here. I've got Sag and Pisces and Taurus. So we'll look at those in the extended. This does feel to me like what you're working your way through here on the path at this present point in your path is enough to put you to the next level of, okay, I'm going to take a courageous stand. Love is a risk. There's no such thing as love without risk. And if there were, it wouldn't be love. Okay? And love inherently comes from allowing yourself to be vulnerable to another person. That requires courage. So are you courageous? Is that what wants to come out right now? I think that is what wants to come out right now. You're being put through this kind of organ grinder to make you courageous, to give you self-confidence in your ability to put yourself out there. So a lot of us who've had toxic relationships in the past, You get kind of afraid, like I don't want to attract that same pattern again, so I'm just going to put myself in a box. And for the past 2 years, let's call it. It's been kind of easy to stay away from putting yourself out there. But this is what's being asked of you. And I think if you're seeing a lot of synchronicities, if you're seeing a lot of numbers repeating and things like that, pay attention to what they are. Okay, I have a video about repeating numbers. I did it a long time ago. It's on Souls on Fire, so we'll put a little card here. And it is about paying attention to what the numbers are that show up for you. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of 4s, 444, and 7s on license plates and things like that. So 7s is spiritual, and 444 is about creating an anchor or a way of thinking about things. An anchor makes the most sense to me. How are you going to navigate? How are you going to walk down this road and see the hurt, feel the hurt in order to release it? Something like that. The 7 of Swords and 3 of Swords. Some of you might be coming to terms with the fact that, a person in your past really did, lie to you. Really, you might have not wanted to know that. You might have not wanted to see that. You might have pushed that away and been and just not kind of look straight at it. This is about looking straight at it. It's interesting that the Leo is here because it's like looking at the sun. You probably don't want to do that, but it's so bright and glaring that you can't look away. Okay? And sometimes when we break open, that's when the light can shine into us. Right? If it's a solid piece over your heart, then no light gets in. But being broken open by your past, especially as it relates to commitment or love, is letting the light shine in. And that's where we're going here. So I will look at Leo and Gemini and Sag and Pisces and Taurus. Okay, I'll look at those special messages for those signs. Link is below. See you over there.